So the other day I asked myself, what's the most important piece of frugal financial advice I could offer someone? Besides always live within your means, which is really what it all comes down to, is always living within your means. But besides that, what struck me was the similarity between getting your finances in order and going on a diet. A food diet and a financial diet are very similar in what makes them difficult for us. So I see a couple of significant similarities, a couple of factors that will really impact the success of your food diet or your financial regimen. I guess this applies also to anything you're trying to improve in your life or any bad habit you're trying to kick. When you go on a diet, if you're going to have long-term success at managing your weight and improving your health, you need not just count calories and exercise and find a diet that works for you. Besides all that, you need to know yourself. You need to figure out why you eat. Why do we overeat? People eat and overeat for a lot of emotional reasons. People eat when they're depressed. People eat when they're happy. People eat when they're bored. People eat to numb their feelings. People eat when they're anxious and stressed and nervous. Food can be very calming. So until you realize the emotional aspect of your eating, you're not going to be able to maintain success with your diet, because you're going to have emotional triggers in life and you need to be able to deal with those without turning to food. And I think it's the same thing with spending money. I think a lot of people spend money as a reaction to emotional states. So some people spend money when they're bored. And shopping should not be a recreation unless you have a lot of money to throw away. Some people spend when they're sad because it cheers them up. Some people spend out of jealousy over what other people have or other lifestyles that they think they should have, but they don't. People can overspend on material items for any number of emotional reasons. And I think until you understand why you spend, you're not going to get a handle on your spending and your budget. And I'm talking about consumer debt type spending. I think also when people go on a diet or people put themselves on a budget, if you look at that change in your life like it's a punishment, you're going to fail. Before Christmas, Frugal Daddy and I tried to go on diets because we were going to get the jump on that New Year's resolution diet thing that everybody does. And as soon as I tried to go on a diet, I gained about 2 or 3 pounds, because as soon as I told myself I am on a diet, I mentally flipped into this place of I'm being punished, I'm being denied, I'm being restricted, and it felt bad and sad and made me mad. Well, no, it didn't really make me mad, but it felt bad and sad to feel like I was being denied the foods I would like to eat. So, since I felt deprived, I immediately overindulged and actually gained weight. And now that I've become vegan, and I really love being vegan, and I've dropped some weight really without trying, because I eat an enormous amount of food and I'm not counting calories or anything, I think it's just the absence of dairy and cheese, actually, that's helping me drop weight. Not like I've lost a ton of weight, but, you know, every pound lost is better than a pound gained. But what I realize now that's different in my mind frame is I feel that I'm doing something for myself rather than doing something to myself. And when I dieted in the past, I felt like I was doing something to myself, like it was me against me. And now with the vegan lifestyle, I feel like I'm doing something for me. It's me for me, not me against me. And that is making an enormous difference in everything. And I think it's the same way with getting your spending under control and putting yourself on a budget. If you're restricting your spending and you're cutting back and you're hanging your laundry out to dry instead of using your dryer and you're turning the heat down and you're not going out to dinner anymore, it's easy to feel like, oh my God, I'm being punished. I'm being restricted. I'm not getting to do any of the fun things I've always wanted to do. And I was bad and I overspent and I went into debt and now this is my punishment. And if you think of it that way, you're not going to be very happy and you're not going to be very successful. And you need to think of it as, I'm doing this for myself. I am getting my financial shit in order for me, as a favor to me. It's going to help me. I'm not hurting me. I'm not working against me. I'm improving me. It's the same with dieting and budgeting. You must think of it in terms of, I am doing something wonderful for me. I want to do this for me. Not, oh, I have to do this to me. Poor me. That way will never work. We all know change is difficult. We all have these behaviors and patterns for a reason. We eat and overeat and overspend for a reason, because it feels good or it tastes good or it numbs the emotions we don't want to feel, or it just makes us happy in the moment. There are benefits to all these bad behaviors. That's why we do them in the first place, and that's why we really don't want to get rid of them. It's just helping me so much now to think that I'm doing what I'm doing to make me happier and to make me healthier and to make me better. It's the same with food and spending. If you're restricting your spending, it's an adjustment, and you might not like it at first, but it's all a mind game. It's all your attitude and how you approach it. And if you look at it as doing something for yourself and your family and your future, then it's all worthwhile. You have to know what your goals are. You have to know what the end game is, and it keeps you going. You're not restricting yourself just to be self-flagellating and self-punishing and self-hating. You're doing it for a positive goal, whether it's your financial health or your physical health. Restriction is not a punishment. It's hard. Dieting is hard because you get hungry. Your body wants food. I always found it much easier to restrict my spending because that was more of an intellectual challenge for me. That was kind of fun. Like, how cheap can I go? How much can I save? How much can I cut back on this, that, and the other? That to me is actually fun. Dieting was not fun. But once you have a little bit of success and you start to lose a little bit of weight and you start to feel healthier, that is fun. Feeling healthy feels much better than any ice cream sundae ever made you feel. Knowing you've got some money in savings and you're not in debt anymore is going to feel so much better than any shopping spree ever made you feel. So, my wisdom for the day is Figure out what your emotional triggers are so you can deal with those in a way that doesn't involve overindulging in food or spending, and change your mind frame, change the way you think about it. If you change your cognition, you're going to change your emotions. So look at your food diet or your financial diet as something you're doing for yourself, not to yourself. Right, friends? Yes! Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.